Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 85 of the Focus on Gaming podcast. I'm Duncan.
And I'm Tom.
And today's episode, we will be talking, of course, because it's March the 10th when we're recording this. So it's Mario Day.
Yay.
Yay. Not that I've particularly done anything different on this day, but we'll talk about some Mario stuff today. Have you been playing any Mario recently?
Do you know what? I was thinking about hooking up the Super Nintendo Mini just the other day to play Super Mario World. So it's been in the back of my mind to do it, but I didn't even contemplate that Mario.
You can
Day
actually
was
hack
coming up.
that to put ROMs on, can't you? Like,
Yeah, I've already done that.
yeah.
You
So
know
you can
me.
maybe get a few hacks.
I have got the F-Zero hack on there, and the Super Nintendo version of Super Mario Land from the Game Boy, and a few other bits and pieces. So yeah, it's good.
Have you ever made any of any Nintendo game harder with any hacks or anything? Personally, I can't think of anything worse.
Super Mario Kart, the original, I definitely downloaded a hack to make that one harder, and it really was harder. So, but
what did it make it faster?
It was faster. There was more bosses, enemies, and there was a lot more characters on the track. Some of the characters were like massively bigger and things like that. It was a good laugh to play.
If Donkey Kong bashed into you, you were just flung onto the next map.
Essentially, yeah. But it was a good laugh, so and fun to play. Especially, it's a bit different because it had new tracks and things. And F-Zero was the F-Zero final, which had the Game Boy tracks in it, and the Super Nintendo, and the downloadable tracks that came with the Satellaview in Japan. So it had some really good stuff in there.
Wasn't that one that was sometime last year or something? I think you asked me to try and work it out. Did that work?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go. Go
well
me. I don't think I can't remember even if you probably did tell me if it worked or not. I just followed some instructions. Thank you, Reddit. So Mario Kart hacks. I mean, I've only looked at some of them, but mostly the ones that I've seen are to change the aesthetics of it. So there's various different characters, including what's his name, SpongeBob, and there's one that's got all sorts of Nintendo characters in it. But I've got one here that is Hyper Street Kart. Is that sound like the one that you?
The one I did was Mario Kart R.
Oh no, Hyper Street Kart might be Street Fighter characters only. That's the only difference.
No,
so, what's
Mario
it called?
Kart R was
Mario
the
Kart
one that I downloaded.
Let me just look that up. So most of these, they are full ROMs, obviously, because if you're going to mod a PC game, then you've got thousands of files on your PC, and you can change one, or you can add a file in if it has mod support. The game will read it. Now, these were never meant to be modded, and they're tiny little files, so most of the time they are ROMs that are pre-cracked, but I think they have to dance around on the out of Nintendo's eyesight most of the time. Although I've just searched in Mario Kart R, and there's literally you can play it online for free.
Yeah. There's also Super Mario Kart alternative tracks. There is Super Mario Kart 20XX. A Super Mario Kart Deluxe. There's so many. There is really so many, and they're fantastic. They really are. So,
I mean, the basics are there, isn't it? So I can imagine somehow all these people that do all these mods know how to access the, how good the handling is, how fast it goes. obviously the graphics, because sometimes all they do is change the graphics. But yeah, there's probably 100 different statistics you can change for each kart racer and whatnot. But what about making them easy? Is there any that can make it easier? Because my boy sucks. I mean, he's really good at gaming, but one thing he has never been able to get the hang of is racing games. He still just drives into the bushes at the edge. So yeah, if we could get one that sort of guides him onto the road, or has like an auto race sort of thing.
It's not going to happen.
I mean, the Mario Kart arcade racer, though, that I remember going to an arcade and literally he spent, out of the 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes I was playing, I don't know, something like that, he spent most of that in a wall. And literally, he straightened up when I was just about to go across the line, and he could see me. And I was like, hang on, what? And it wasn't because I'd lapped him. This was, it literally said, "Oh, you finished as well." It was.
You're so sour about this, aren't you?
I did. It was just like, hang on a minute. I'm supposed to destroy you to the point where I've lapped you about 5 million times, even though there's only been like 2 laps or something. And yeah, apparently going into a wall constantly puts you into an alternate dimension. But that's why Super Mario Arcade sucks. Yeah. It's not a Super Mario game as such. You can barely go into the wall. I don't know how the kid did it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not that good. I mean, you've seen me play Mario Kart. I've never really played the old school ones that much. I was, as we know, I was more of a Mega Drive boy.
You was, bless you.
And then a PS1, so I was Crash Kart, which is on Game Pass now, of course. And my boy sucks at that one as well. But anyway,
the best Mario Kart hack is probably Super Mario Kart World, which replaces all the tracks. Does some minor tweaks, slightly better graphics, and the battle modes changed and things like that. So that was one of the best. And they also did, I'm trying to find the name of it now. Where has it gone? It is called the More Super Mario Kart. And it's another hack that celebrates the 25th anniversary of the classic game. And it adds 20 new courses in addition to the 20 that's already on the game. I'm
just looking at the Super Mario Kart World graphics. And some quite good. There is a figure of eights in the original maps, isn't there? Because you jump over, don't you?
Not that I recall.
No? Okay. No. So maybe
I might be wrong, but not that I recall.
Oh, there's pit stops and all sorts. Oh, shortcuts. Very good. Right.
So,
well,
we all know what our favourite Super Mario game is, don't we? We all know what our favourite one is, but what's the worst Mario game you've ever played?
Oh, definitely the educational ones. If we're going to go by any Mario game, then it's the educational ones. Was it Mario in Time or Mario? There
was also a
Mario is
one.
Missing as well, wasn't there?
Oh, that was dreadful, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think it was Mario is Missing.
And there was one where he toured America as well. But
yes, Mario is Missing. Awful game. Yeah. I think I remember playing it, and it might have been a bad ROM. It might have been, but it was just buggy mess. Ugh, yeah, hated it. So it's another. So also, it was published on MS DOS, and it was not published by Nintendo. Okay.
Interesting.
It was
I think wasn't it
educational
also on
game developed
CDR?
and published by the Software Toolworks. They went defunct in 1994, unsurprisingly, seeing as Mario's Missing came out in 1993. They probably, probably killed them off.
Yeah,
I mean, that
probably.
Chessmaster 2000. Yeah. Oh, but they also released that classic Mavis Beacon Teaches Typing.
Well, go out and buy it, people. Go out and buy it.
Yeah.
My least favorite game is Super Mario 2. I hated it.
Now, here we have to work out which Super Mario that is for various people, because it's Super Mario Brothers 2 was different in different countries, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We looked this up.
It wasn't Lost Levels. It was the UK release of Super Mario 2.
So, Super Mario Brothers 2 is a 1988 platform game developed and published by Nintendo. But they quickly released a minor adaptation of the original with advanced difficulty titled Super Mario Brothers 2 for its market in Japan.
Yeah.
So it wasn't not that one you're talking about, or is that one?
It was the UK release of Mario 2. So it would be Super Mario Bros. 2.
Okay. So
I hated it with a passion.
You see, the whole being able to ride things on their heads, I just couldn't get used to that. Was that number 2? That's number 2, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, because you could just stand on things and then pick them up. And yeah, no, I didn't like the aesthetics. I thought, although they improved the graphics to make them more detailed, let's say, I still thought it was not as good.
Another one I really enjoyed, and it's no longer available, is Super Mario Bros. 35, which was a celebration edition where you could play against multiple people online, and you had to do a speed run through the Mario level. And you got more points for the more things you achieved.
Yeah, I never got to play that.
It's so good.
Because they only released it for a certain time, didn't they?
Yeah. I'm hoping that they'll eventually do a release of that because it was so good. It allowed 35 players online at once, and it was just fantastic. It really was.
Apparently, Hackaday reported that a reverse-engineered game server had been implemented. So whether that's actually publicly available, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, so much fun.
It really
Battle
was.
Royale in. So they did a few of those 35 things that only lasted for a little while, didn't they?
Yeah.
Tetris 99 as well. Was that, did that one? Did they? No, that one's still going, isn't it? That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Super Mario Brothers 35 5th anniversary was. There was. I can't remember. There was something else. I know there was something else that was short-lived, but it's. I'm lost. There was Super Mario 3D All Stars, Mario Kart Live, Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, Game & Watch Super Mario Brothers, and Paper Mario. They were all things that have stayed. No, I don't know. In terms of bad ones, other than the educational ones, yeah, do you know what? I'd probably agree with you that Super Mario Brothers 2. Super Mario Brothers 3... I liked, but if you're going to go for NES ones, then you can't beat the original, personally.
Yeah, really good.
And obviously, me and you, we both like Super Mario World and Super Mario Land.
Yeah. The first one.
Yes, definitely the first one. The second one, they just tried too hard. They did the same as Super Mario 2 on the NES. They just tried too hard, and they should have just stuck with the power of the Game Boy, going right, make everything small and fast.
Which worked really well, I felt.
Well, there is also, obviously, there's lots of Super Mario hacks as well. Super Mario World. People are still making them. Apparently, one of the most popular ones is it's new Super Mario World. It's what can I say? It's a whole new game, and it's Super Mario World, but bigger, and I won't say better because it is still not an official one, but it's apparently really well designed, and it looks just like an official game. So that is highly recommended if you want a bit of a challenge. Obviously, a lot of these hacks, a lot of them, people have gone, do you know what's easy? Super Mario. Let's make it impossibly hard. It's like those videos you see of speedrunners, don't you, when they've got Mario Maker levels that they cannot stop and they have to bounce everywhere. Yeah. Oh God, they just stress me out watching those. Some of them just pixel perfect, and not in a million years could I even get halfway through some of those levels. And yet you see these people, they're probably granted been sat there for 3 days trying to do it. Sitting there with their bottles full of pee and whatnot. But...
yeah. I mean, I think we can all agree that Super Mario World was the pinnacle of 2D Mario.
Oh yes, it's what all 2D platformers aspire to be, I think.
100%.
And this is why the hacks are so good generally, because the hacks have the same, what's it called, sort of platforming abilities. The same great controls, the same great jumping, the same great mechanisms. Just they have better levels, bigger. Well, not necessarily, but bigger levels or different levels, different graphics, why not improve something or not expand something that is so good? I didn't actually complete Mario World. I think I've said this plenty of times before, until 2023. That was the first time I'd ever completed it. I'd done about 90% of it. I just never had completed it. And do you know what? I still think that I wouldn't have had the patience to complete it without save states. Because just doing a whole level again or going back previous levels to get more lives, just nowadays I haven't got the patience or the time, to be honest. Remember the olden days of games that didn't save and you had to leave the console on.
Yeah.
Don't touch that, Mum!
God,
no nightmares.
And especially back in the day when you're on, like, some people had coin operated meters for their electric.
Oh yes, of course.
Remember? So yeah, it's like,
Mom,
turn that off.
How much electricity we got?
Chucking that pound going back through.
Oh, I mean, I would say fortunately I never had that, but at the same time, unfortunately, I had parents who did not ever want to buy me a games console. So it was just Game Boy.
Yeah.
But I didn't ever have an adapter for my Game Boy, so it was rechargeable batteries only. Luckily, my dad always had quite good quality rechargeable batteries, so I didn't ever have that issue of desperately needing batteries, and we had quite a lot of them. So I just always have some in the charger.
Of course, just in case.
So, have you seen one thing that my smallest son is obsessed with at the moment on YouTube is there's a YouTuber who plays modded versions of the latest Marios, like Mario Odyssey and Mario Galaxy, and they're actually really good. But it isn't just different level, like new levels or anything. Quite often, it's the same level, but they've changed something. It'll instead of having to get to the end or whatever, it'll be you've got to find a certain coin, or there'll be something hidden on a hard to reach place that normally you can only get there with certain skills that are modded in, and they look really good fun. It's just I think that those are, unfortunately, if you're going to download a 20 gigabyte game, if you've downloaded an already modded version and you want to try 7 different versions, that's 140 gigabyte. Yeah. So as well as a lot of these ROM places you're downloading from servers that are paid only, so they'll be like, you can download at 5 kilobytes per second, or you can pay us £100 and download unlimited speed. I think I'll download at 5 kilobytes per second, please. But I'd really love to play those. So if anybody knows exactly how I install them, obviously don't tell me, because Nintendo wouldn't like that. Definitely don't do that. But
no,
definitely don't go to focusongaming.co.uk and click on our social links and then message me or post a comment on our page. Definitely don't. But I'm thinking that Reddit might be my friend in this respect.
I think so. There is quite a few popular ROM hack Reddit.
Although they didn't Nintendo shut one down recently, didn't they? Because again, they've had a big push for pre to the Switch 2 come out, because there's rumours that the architecture is the same, so that with a little bit of work, underestimating it, I think, but a little bit of work, it will be basically they'll be able to use current emulators for Switch 2. So hence why they've shut down Yuzu, they've shut down Ryojinx, they've shut down a ROM hack site. I don't know what it was called. Oh, there you go. ROM hacking. There you go. ROMhacking.net shut down because Nintendo basically went, we've had enough. Shut down and we'll sue you.
That's the same.
And it was one of the biggest ones, I think. 20 years it was around.
I've used the same ROM website since I was about 17, and it's still there. I can't believe it.
Oh, well, you're only about like 12 years old, so it's minus 5 years, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Sorry, you're 21, so 4 years.
I never really got into the 3D Mario games, though.
No, that's why I'm sort of intrigued by the ROM versions, because I'm like, if I could have it where, then maybe there's a settings menu and you can change things, or something to make it more interesting. Because Mario 64, I just couldn't. I've played it separately probably 6 or 7 times, and each time I've done about the first 3 levels. I got bored.
Yeah.
No, they said the way he runs, and you have to sort of change direction more so because he keeps skids on the same place. Really annoys me. It's so precise on Mario World and the original and all this, and then you come into this and he's like skidding all over the place, and his little legs are moving, and like, whatever.
No time for it at all.
No.
What's Super Mario Wonder like?
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Obviously, that wasn't out last time we did a Mario thing. And that is a return to the 2D form. It's got super, super hard levels, but you don't have to do them. And one of the very first levels is the dancing piranha plants, and was it called Piranhas on Parade or something? And it should go down in history as a classic Mario level. It's do you know that in Rayman they have the musical levels that you jump in time with the music?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's similar to that where the piranha plants sing, and the parts of the level move, and you jump in time with the music, and that's the best way to do it. You don't have to jump in time with the music, but unlike the Rayman ones, I highly recommend. If you want a 2D platformer, Rayman Legends is possibly my favourite.
On the PS3, absolutely brilliant.
Well, any of them. It was all good on all of the platforms. I played it on Xbox, obviously. But yeah, it's got ones where very specifically you have to jump in time with the music. But it was always like rock versions of rock songs, but like you'd have to jump in time. It's got whoa, Blackberry, oh, Blackberry, and it's literally like jump, 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 jump to jump, 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 jump to jump, 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 jump to jump.
This on Super Mario Wonder or on Rayman?
No, this was on Rayman. And the Plants on Parade, it's a bit slower. It is one of the intro levels. Sorry, just talking about the Rayman. It's just bringing back memories of how good it is.
The only thing that put me off of Mario Wonder was the elephant version of Mario.
Now, yeah, you see, I wondered about that before I played it, and it just adds a bit of how you approach some of the platforming differently. That's all.
Yeah.
It does make some levels easier, and it makes some levels harder. So obviously there are the different Marios that you collect. There's one where he can. I can't remember. I haven't played for a while, but there's different hats you can get, and they change you into different things or give you different abilities.
Yeah.
And it looks so good as well. I'd look at Mario 64 looked okay when it came out, but it
not anymore.
It doesn't look any good anymore.
No.
And yeah, it just Super Mario Wonder will look good in 20 years' time.
Do you know what I find is all the Mario games that were released on the Wii U look amazing even today and so vibrant, and I'd say more vibrant than they do on the Switch, which is interesting. So
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, do you know we're both 90s kids, so this will freak you out a bit. You can get a ROM hack of Super Mario 64 called Super Mario 64 Sonic Edition.
Funny you say that. You can also get a ROM hack of Sonic 4, which is a Mario game that has Sonic in it.
Ooh. Let me have a look at that. Sonic Mario and Sonic 4. Wow. Yes. That's oh, hang on. I'm just trying to. Oh yeah, no. Is that official? That's not an official game, though, is it?
No.
I mean, obviously, there are Mario and Sonic Olympic Games nowadays, which is still weird. Could you imagine you being brought forward 30 years and seeing you now and going, right, Sega stopped doing hardware. Stopped doing hardware, and Mario and Sonic appear in a game together. You'd be like, yeah, right, whatever. Loser, old man.
I still think it's wrong.
It is weird. I mean, they're nothing like each other. It is just a bit weird that some slow, fat plumber guy and a blue hedgehog. So why put them together?
It's everything that's wrong with the 90s. It's like an LSD trip. I think it was actually really good, although I played it limited. I didn't really get into it too much. But Super Mario World 3D on the Wii U, it was quite a good game.
Well, Super Mario 3D Land, I think it is. It's on the Switch. I don't know whether it was on anything else. 3D Land. I think, yeah, Super Mario 3D Land. I really enjoyed that one. It's more of an isometric kind of 3D than a Super Mario 64. But yeah, it's really good fun. That it's a 3D Mario, but without the camera kind of. It's not the camera kind of 3D. It's more your, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it really. Yeah, it's like
Isometric, isn't it?
yeah, almost isometric kind of thing. Sort of above and behind your character, but you can go left, right, up, down, and literally up and down on the world. But yeah, it's really good fun. I
Very
really liked
similar
it,
to Super Mario RPG on the SNES, actually.
but without all the RPG stuff.
Yeah,
It's very, very much a platformer.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay. It was originally on the 3DS, apparently.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Was there not a Switch version?
I thought there was a Wii U version. I don't know about a Switch. It was called Super Mario World.
Super Mario 3D World. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
And obviously
that's the one I'm talking about. I never played Land.
Obviously, you had Super Mario Clash on the Virtual Boy, which was also a great game.
I never heard of that one. What's that then?
You're essentially...
Oh, God, it's a Virtual Boy.
Yeah. Such a good game. It really was.
But still red.
And the 3D was great on it as well. You basically have to go through tubes and throw shells and collect things and
Oh yeah, I can see somebody's done painted it in colour, what it would look like in colour. So it's sort of cross between SNES and NES graphics kind of thing.
Yeah. It was 32-bit as well. I mean, it was... I don't know. It was very good. I enjoyed it a lot. So, and obviously you had
played that.
Super Mario Wacky Worlds, which was never released on the CDI, but there is a semi-complete ROM hack on online where he goes across from Egypt.
Oh, is this another one that wasn't done by Nintendo?
Yeah.
Oh yes. Is a cancelled Mario platform game developed by Nova Logic for the CDI format. It was conceived as a sequel to Super Mario World. Oh, this was before people realised that, do you know who does Nintendo games really well? Nintendo.
Yeah.
Don't even try and do it. I mean, obviously, whacking this Mario picture and name on it does get you more sales, but at the same time, back in those days, everything was about reviews in magazines, and magazines would have gone, don't bother.
And they did. They were in the middle of producing I think it was called Super Mario USA or something like that, and it was a Super Mario travel game where he went around the world. Around America, and it was cut with full motion video. And it was a really big project, and it never got finished, and it never got released. And there's some screenshots of it, but it was looking like it was going to be quite an interesting education title, but it never came out. But there's an interview with the developer, and the way he talks about the project is really interesting. So it's I think it's in Retro Gamer. A couple of years back, but it's well worth a look, definitely.
Oh God, there's a Mario Brothers special. It's a release for some NEC computers. It's a remake of Mario Brothers with new stages, mechanics, and gameplay. Punchball Mario Brothers. Okay. Well, there you go. There's been so many games. Lots of games that weren't weren't published by. Yeah. Oh, there's been an Ubisoft. Hang on. What?
What?
Oh no, it's just the Mario and Rabbids. Mario versus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Yeah. So yeah, no. All right. Well, I think we were going to.
All Marioed out, I think.
Yeah, I think we're all Marioed out now. What I'd done to make this episode a bit longer was I've been playing Split Fiction. I've been playing it with my son. So I've actually done a review of it. So instead of us saying our usual goodbye and, see you next week and all this kind of thing, what we're actually going to do is say goodbye and go to focusongaming.co.uk and everything and enjoy this review. So on that note,
goodbye.
Go to focusongaming.co.uk. Thank you, Tom. And
Thank you,
enjoy this review of Split Fiction with Noah, my son. There's no Martin or Tom for this bit because I'm joined by, you all wanted him here. You wanted him back. I am joined by the one and only Noah. Welcome, Noah.
Hi.
There's no point you can't wave at a microphone. And nobody can see you waving at a microphone. Anyway, so there is going to be another episode, but we're just going to do a little review, aren't we? Because we've been playing Split Fiction.
Yes.
So it's the follow-up. Well, it's not a follow-up. It's a different story, but it's the next game from the It Takes Two.
Yeah.
People,
so
isn't it?
technically, It Takes Two, but we're not toys.
No, we're not toys.
Nothing
it's
is
two
something
people,
in
isn't
the
it?
house. Yeah, it's two people.
Two
it's
girls.
A co-op.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can only play it co-op. So
Yeah.
It Takes Two was you have to play it two-player, don't you?
Yeah.
And you were playing two mum and dad who were
Yeah.
turned into toys.
Yeah.
And it's quite a long game. We completed it, didn't we?
Yes.
There were some tough bits. But now
Yeah.
the next game is out.
Yeah.
And it's two girls, isn't it? One called, who do you play?
Zoe.
Zoe. And I play Mio, don't I?
Yeah.
Now, Mio loves sci-fi. And what does Zoe love?
Zoe loves fantasy.
And they go to a company who basically, I suppose it's like a Matrix thing. You wouldn't understand that. You haven't seen that film yet. But it's like a Matrix thing where people get who have stories get plugged into a machine and they extract the stories down and they're stealing them. But they don't tell them that they're going to steal it. Anyway,
But
our two girls, what happens to them?
But something goes wrong with the machine because one of the girls doesn't want to go in it. But
She falls into the other girls.
falls into the other girls, so it makes a problem with it.
A glitch.
Yeah.
And they end up in a sci-fi world together, don't they?
Yes, but then they find like this glitch thing, like you said, and it teleports them to Zoe's story, the
Fantasy world, yes.
Yeah.
So it is a lot of the same things as It Takes Two. Now, I think personally, it's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
It's a little bit harder. There are lots of accessibility options, isn't there? There's some that we've stopped it from being like button mashing. I think one of the ones you hold.
Yeah,
And we've also turned off the thing that enemies can kill you, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Because you could kill me, couldn't you? In the one bit,
Yes.
and you killed me lots of times.
Yeah, but you
before
didn't kill me.
before we realised that I couldn't actually kill you, and then I was like, okay, so I turned that off for a bit.
Let's keep it off. I want to keep it off.
Okay,
was
so
fun.
there are bits to make it a bit easier, but yeah, for me personally, I think it is a little bit tougher. It is very pretty, isn't it? It's a very pretty game. Both the worlds, the sci-fi one, very, very fast and lots of flying
And
cars
robot things.
and robots.
Like the sun never comes up, actually.
Yeah, they mention that, don't they?
Yeah.
It's like, when does daytimes happen? It's like, it never happens. It's always nighttime.
Yeah,
because it's a dark and gloomy
And that's why they
sci-fi.
just have lights like on the buildings. They have lights everywhere.
And of course, the fantasy world is all nature and colourful
And turning into
and
fairies.
spikes and there's been a few animals, hasn't there? So what have we been so far?
So human, of course.
Yeah.
A fairy and a weird tree monster for Zoe.
Yeah.
And then for Mio, there was a sort of
Like a blue gorilla kind of thing. And then
an
axolotl lizardy kind of thing that can swim.
So sort of,
And you have to swap between the animals depending on where you are.
Yeah.
If you try and put the monkey in the water, he dies.
Yeah. But if you put the fish in water...
I'm thinking about earlier on, when we were first in the fantasy world, what did we turn into? What animal?
Pigs.
We turned into pigs. And you had a pig that had a slinky kind of neck.
Yeah, so I could sort of...
What was my pig's superpower?
You could fart. You could do rainbow farts that would make them fly.
I could fart in rainbows.
Oh, and then the pig section, there were flying pigs with little apples.
And they would poop on you, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would literally poop on you.
So I think overall, do you think when we get to the end of this, do you think you will enjoy it more than It Takes Two?
Probably the exact same.
The exact same?
Sort of, they're the exact same game, just a different story.
I think I found it a lot faster and a lot higher pace than
because you have to
previous
sort
one.
of like in that bit where I had to swing, but it didn't let me just stay on it. It just went shoot, and I just fell off. I didn't know that I needed to change into fairy.
But that's things that you learn, isn't it? I think a lot of the things when you die, it's like, oh, that's fine. I've learned how to do that bit, isn't it? So it's quite a good learning curve. It never gets really difficult, does it?
No.
But I think the pace is definitely faster, especially in the sci-fi world. The sci-fi world is very much flying cars and running fast and shooting things, whereas the fantasy one is more
sort of
the world is trying to kill you.
Yes, giant
There's spiky things. There's
ogres,
flowers. There's ogres. All sorts of things.
piranhas in water.
Oh, piranhas in the water. That's why you die when the monkey hits the water, because they don't go for my lizardy axolotl thing, do they?
No, because they think of it as a friend, because it also swims and it's sort of
maybe
a fish.
All
so
I know
they
is
think
it doesn't kill me, so that's good.
Yeah. I can just fly over the water though in my fairy mode.
So It Takes Two. Let's say, what would you say that was? An 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Also, does that mean Split Fiction is also a 10 out of 10?
Yes, because I can't really compare them. But if we finish Split Fiction, I might sort of change it, because the Split Fiction, we haven't even finished it yet. So
Yeah,
we don't know
it
what
might be a
it's gonna
fantastic ending. It might be a
Yeah.
sucky ending. But we'll see.
They just fall off and die.
Well, hopefully they don't just die in the machine. That'd be a rubbish ending.
But no, I think
it'll be a 1 out of 10 if they die at the end.
Yeah, I think it would be
I don't think Zoe and Mio are going to die.
and there'll be a big, massive glitch, and they fall off a building. They fall into the glitch, and they get pushed out of the machine through the glitch.
So there are there's also optional side missions, aren't there?
Yes.
So you can go into them and complete
the
little games. We had one recently. There was water skiing, wasn't there?
Oh yeah.
Water skiing and hang gliding. So that was fun. But if you don't want to do them, you don't have to do them.
And from the pigs, that after that there was a sausage thing, and It Takes Two.
Oh,
How the parents and
we
Rose,
turned into sausages, didn't we?
Yeah, and we had to cook each other, and then Rose and her mum eat us.
Yeah,
from It Takes
and then
Two.
in the sci-fi world as well, there was a shop, wasn't there?
Yeah, and it had Rose's toy, and I ripped it apart with
the elephant.
gravity
There was
whip.
the elephant from It Takes Two.
Yeah,
was
where
on
we
a
had
shop.
to break it, and I used my gravity whip to whip off it.
Quite a horrific bit in It Takes Two, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to torture the cuddly elephant
To make her cry.
and rip her ears off and stuff.
We actually just hurt her for no reason.
Yeah, because they had to make the girl cry, and
But
it didn't
we
work.
hurt her for no reason. So we killed one
But
of
anyway,
Rose's friends.
that elephant is also on a shop in
Yes.
split fiction.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some nice little references. So I'm very much enjoying it. The reviews have been amazing. So I think we agree with those, don't we? That it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So from a 7-year-old and a not quite 7-year-old, we give it a 10 out of 10 then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.